Welcome to Exam, and this movie starts off with people doing shit like base washing, glasses adjusting, pill popping, and we also got a bunch of names on the screen, which I'm assuming is the names of these people. However, that don't matter because they don't use them anyway, and I did not read them because reading's for nerds. Anyway, hey bitches go into a classroom, some black motherfucker comes in like, alright you fucking knobheads, we've got a simple yet retarded test in front of you right here, which will determine whether you get this job or not. There are 3 rules in this room. Rule number 1, if you try to talk to me or the guard, you are f***ed, and by that I mean you are disqualified. Rule number 2, if you mess up your paper in any shape or form for any reason, you are also fucked. And rule number 3, if you leave this room also for any reason at all before the time is up, you are very much fucking screwed, mate. Alright, that's it. Anything else is fair game. Can basically disembowel each other for all I care. I don't give a toss, mate. Now you've got 1 question before you and we only require 1 bloody answer. Any questions? Alright then, starting now, you've got 80 minutes, good luck you c***s. And after the invigilator leaves, they flip the page over and it is blank. Visible confusion happens amongst the hoes in this room and many tippy-tappy, pencil twisties, harumph-a-badumphs happen. Then Miss China starts writing shit like, I believe it is a job because I worked hard and everything is different, I'm a special snowflake, I know what I'm doing, No one cares. And neither do they, because that's not the answer they want and she technically spoiled the papers, so the guard drags her out. She's out of here. Then visible anxiety happens, and for the record, my answer to this question is no, because even though I don't know the question, I can tell they be playing mind games with these people that will lead them to do some fucked up shit, and if I was one of them, I'd just write big fat no on that paper and dip, because I'm getting serious battle royale serial killer vibes out of this shit, and honestly, it just ain't worth it, so fuck it. Anyway, Dickhead McFuckface realizes that they can talk and do random shit since it ain't in the rules, and they all decide to work together to establish the question. Then it's every man for himself to answer the question. After that, Dickhead gives them all names, pretty offensive names, which is just as well, because I was gonna be an asshole in the naming department anyway. He calls himself white, then black, brown, blondie, brunette, dark, and deaf, because he ain't listened to whatever the fuck he said.
Any objections?
Apart from your grossly insensitive sexual and racial stereotyping?
Oh, good lord, fuck off. You think that's bad? Alright, fuck this up. I'ma call her the sensitive Tumblr SJW snowflake bitch slut. Okay, that's too long. I'm gonna just stick with dark. Moving on. They start testing theories on where the question might be, like maybe light can reveal a Zamboni colony on the paper, but why did I call the question a Zamboni colony? That's the real question. What the fuck is wrong with me? So they hold up them papers with them lights and nada, nothing, no question. Then Black's like, light is a spectrum. There is light we cannot see, like infrared. What if that reveals the question? Then Blondie finds some emergency lighting and they have a vote to see if they should poke out all the normal lights to create an emergency so that emergency lights come on, and the vote goes in favor of the blackout, so they poke out all the lights, black lights come on, and I can't help but think if this were a teenage boy's bedroom, it'd be completely white because there'd be jizz everywhere. Random thought, do you think there are jizz sniffing dogs out there? I mean, there are drug sniffing dogs, so jizz sniffing dogs must be real, right? Why am I thinking about this again? Alright, black lights. Moving on. The black light doesn't reveal shit either. Then Dark's like, we gotta knock out the bottom ones because the top ones aren't lit. So they knock those out very carefully too, and infrared lighting comes on, except I don't know how it comes on because literally in every single example of the bitches carefully knocking out the bottom ones, they hit both lights, so most infrared lights should be broken right now. Also, Brunette's foot has a skid mark on it. It looks like it shed itself. Infrared does not reveal queef either, and Dark's like,
We've burnt a quarter of our time already.
Incorrect. Invigilator started the 80-minute timer at minute 8 and 10 seconds of this movie. It's minute 25 and 35 seconds right now, which means that this timer should be somewhere around 63 minutes. Now, I'm pretty bad at math, but I had a nerd help me out with this, so the numbers check out. And this was before Death fucked with the timer, by the way. So, eat a dick, movie. Also, put your shoes back on, you dumb bitch. Anyway, White figures out that they can run tests on China Ho's paper since she's not here. He does a very shitty job at tracing or whatever. You're supposed to hold it more sideways, you degenerate cunt. Then he pees on a piece of the paper, thinking that liquid might reveal something, but nothing's revealed, so he just ended up wasting and ruining more free real estate. Also, what if the question isn't even on that part of the paper? He annoys Black, then Death starts mumbling some shit in French like, Je m'appelle croissant, sacre bleu putain, which according to Dark translates to see clearly is all. Hello, French speakers. White talks shit, then Brown comes up with a theory that there is no test and the company board is just fucking with them for shits and giggles, you know, betting on who quits first or whatever. Then he butts heads with Dark, and overall there's a lot of head butting going on between all these in this fucking room, which gives out a bunch of movie expose. So in order to save time, I'm just lay it out all here right now. Alright, first of all, there's a pandemic going on in this world right now, the movie world, okay? Very meta, I know. And there's a company called BioOrg, bisexual organization, who cares, that made suppressant pills for said, holy shit, what the fuck is in my throat? That makes suppressant pills for said unknown virus, let's call it COVID-9, and this is a super secretive company with a super secretive CEO, founder person with a very hands-on approach on hiring people. Okay, now the people. Brown is a professional gambler that used to be an army dude or something. Black's late wife died of COVID-9, so he's a carrier, but for some reason doesn't require the suppressants. I don't know why. Deaf is a French pussy, Blondie's blonde and kind kind, I guess. Not much info about her. Brunette's boyfriend has COVID-19 and she wants to get the job to get an employee discount on them pills. White's got COVID-19. He has to take the pill every hour on the hour or else he dies. He's also a massive asshole. And Dark's a psychologist, but not really, and actually works for Biorg in the HR department, but applied for this internally because better position, maybe money, something, I don't know. Also, none of them know what the job actually is. And that's about it. Onwards with the film. The timer is wrong again. Everybody butts heads. White's an asshole. Then Brunette gives the guard a hand job. Jake gave you wish, you fuckboy. She reaches inside both of his pockets and finds a lighter. She also forgets to check his titty pockets, but whatever. They deduce that they're in a dark room and that the sprinkler system must spray out developing fluid and their papers must be developing paper and they need to turn on the sprinklers to reveal the question. What a fucking long shot. I bet the question is much simpler than that. Also, doesn't getting your paper wet count as ruining your paper? Or no? I don't know. Anyway, so they try and set off the fire alarm. Def gets up and goes to the timer, all fidgety like. White makes fun of him, then slightly crumples up Brunette's paper and gives it to her so she can burn it and reach the fire detector. She hits the G-spot and the ceiling starts coming all over the place. And it's water. Congratulations, you doinks. Then Brunette realizes that her paper is missing and that she accidentally burnt it. She gets dragged out by the guard like, you asshole! And Black goes, what did you do? I should knock your lights out. And the lights in the room go out because it is voice activated and they turn it back on with the normal lights by saying lights on. However, my main gripe here is the fact that the light here got knocked out by Black to see if there's another light source other than black light behind here, which there was infrared, and when they turned on the infrared lights, this one was knocked out because he knocked out both lights. Makes sense. But now it's working just fine. Is there like a third light behind a pane of indestructible glass there? Because he knocked that shit out with a fucking chair, bro. Anyway, Def starts getting in a case of the extreme sad and anxiety, so White goes over and mocks him into tearing up his own paper and eating it, which gets him kicked out, and we're officially renaming White back to Dickhead McFuckface. Black gets mad, then White goes, I figured out the question. Then tell us. Why would I? Suck at you, twerps. Dark calls out White on being a dickhead, then Black goes, Hiya! Tai Chi Karate! Knocks him out, then ties him to a chair, gags him, and has a what would Jesus do moment. Then him and Dark decide to push him out of the room to disqualify him, but Blonde goes, remember what the invigilator said.
If you choose to leave this room for any reason, you will be disqualified.
He's not choosing here, you are, which might end up fucking you over. So they abort mission. Dickhead wakes up and starts freaking out, asking for his pill, and they find out that he has got the virus, and he tells them to get the pill out of his pocket and give it to him, but they can't find it, so he's like, you fuckers, one of you took it, untie me right away. No, how do we know you're not lying? Besides, first you will pass out, get convulsions, fall into a coma, then die, and the process takes hours, not minutes, so suck it up, bitch. He passes out, fuck him, no one cares, hope he dies. Brown figures out that Dark works for this company and thinks that she's a mole planted here to keep things exciting, so he ties her up to a chair and tries to interrogate her into giving them the question, and he threatens her with the rest of China's paper and tries to cut her on her thighs, but turns out she emo hoe had daddy issues and she already got there before him, so any cuts he does there will be ineffective. So logically, next step from thighs is eyes, and he goes there to try and poke him out, but she really don't know nothing, so he just lets her go. What is wrong with this guy using paper to cut her as a torture device when there's perfectly fine, large, sharp shards of glass all over the place? Also, why didn't dumbass Dark try to push him away with her feet? Your hands are the ones that are tied, not your legs, you idiot. Anyway, Blonde unties her and White starts convolting. Am I saying that right? Convolting? Doesn't matter. He starts turning into a low frequency vibrate. He needs the pill pronto. And I thought you said this takes hours, man. What the fuck? Maybe the virus got stronger. Who knows? Anywho, whoever took the pill ain't putting out. So Blonde says that they have to search each other, but everybody turns out clean. Then Dark goes, got any gum, you curry eating cow fucking cunt? Nope. Huh. Is that so? Well, what is this? Motherfucker stole the pill and hid under his desk with some gum. I don't know when he stole it, but he did. And they try to give it to him, but he knocks it out of their hands into the drain. And they can't get it. Then Dickhead starts bleeding. So Dark tries to drag him out to try and save his life, and she starts yelling at the camera for some help and shit, which counts as talking to the invigilator, so the guard drags her out. Meanwhile, Blondie got a bobby pin, right? And she took the thing with the bobby pin and went over to White, gave him the pill, and he wakes up like,
you can hear me, nod your fuckers.
And he stumbles and crawls his way over to his chair, all the while explaining, the test is the question and we are the answers. You heard what he said.
There is one question before you, one answer is required.
Only one answer. Exactly, bruv. They look at the guard's gun and Speedy Gonzalez, big race to gun. Black gets there first, and Dickhead McFuckface here has a flashlight for a brain because he put himself in the worst starting position to get to the gun ever. And now that I come to think of it, why do you even tell him about this retarded fucking theory in the first place? So they can catch on and beat him to the gun for movie suspense? Nah, that's not it. He's just retarded. Anyway, Black gives his own theory about the question. Dickhead goes, that's stupid, mate. Go on, shoot me. Right in the head. Yeah. That's right, you haven't got the bollocks, mate. But he does have the bollocks, and he tries to shoot him, but gun no fire, so they fight. White stabs Wakanda forever. Currymaster finally steps in. Fucking took him long enough. But Dickhead fights him off too and figures out that the gun uses fingerprint ID. So he uses the guard's hand to activate it and forces Brown to walk out the test and disqualify himself. Then Blonde goes, fuck this shit, I'm out. And tells Black all sneaky breaky like to get ready when she walks by him, then yells, lights out. Black makes a move, Dickhead fires, then turns the lights back on to find that Wakanda has fallen. He die now. And Blonde still has a foot in the room. And I don't know if this still counts as being inside. Maybe there's a childish rule that says you can't step back into the room with the foot you stepped out of the room with, so she has to come back hopping on her right foot. I don't fucking know. Anyway, he looks at the foot and tries to shoot her, but the time goes up and he's like, fuck. Then mad as hell walks over to the two-way mirror and bit angry yells at whoever's on the other side. Then the guard walks up to him, shows him his clock, and his hand clock, his watch. He shows him his watch. He shows him his watch and shows him that the time is actually not over yet. There's still something like 20 seconds left, you see. As it turns out, there's a second button on that timer that speeds up the time, and Death fucked with it a bit when he went up to the timer to, you know, when you fuck with it, yeah. And Dickhead dismisses it as him being just a fidgety, anxiety-ridden Frenchman. Then Dickhead tries to kill himself. Pathetic. Fucking pathetic. Time actually ends. Big flash happened. Test actually over now. But Blonde's still there, and she picks up Death's glasses and a shard of glass, uses them to zoom into the paper and find question 1 indented into the paper, I guess, which I think shouldn't be visible, or at least not that visible, because first she put the paper on its front on the wet desk, then she flipped it over, which means the water should be in the crevices or whatever, so, you know, it shouldn't really show that well, I guess. But what the fuck, and I know, you know, I'm just a retard on the internet. Anyway, she finds no actual question. Then Death walks in, and a bunch of flashbacks happen, and she walks over to him and says that the answer is no, because the invigilator asked,
Any questions?
okay, so first of all, I was right. The answer was no, maybe for the wrong reason, but whatever, I'm still counting it. And second of all, this is some lame-ass dad joke, okay? Right here, this is dad joke material. Just think of that. Just let that sink in right now. They did all of this for some lame-ass dad joke question. Epic bro moment number 35. Invigilator reveals that Death's the founder / CEO of this company, but he's super duper shy scientist guy, and he doesn't really care about fame and all that shit and showing his face and blah blah blah. He just wants to do science and shit. And while looking for a cure for COVID-19, they stumble on something far greater. Rapid cell regeneration that fixes a bunch of shit other than COVID-19. And Wakanda ain't dead, nay, for he is healed, because them bullets in the guard's gun had that regeneration pill in it, and when he shot him, he actually cured him. So they're gonna need someone to make very tough decisions when releasing this to the world. Someone smart, observant, compassionate, wise. Blondie gets a job. Black wakes up, Death goes, he has risen. They shake hands and Death nuts himself instantly, because that's the first time he ever touched a woman. This movie gets 8 Viagras out of 7 vitamin gummies.